One. All right, Inglewood, Cali, Chi-Town. We should be live now. Another edition. Praise Jah of Mouthpiece included. Silverbacks are back in the building. TATN, TATN, TATN. And today we're covering the history of black pro grapplers. Of course, we always start out with our we always start out with our hot topics. Got some great hot topics lined up for you today. You guys bear with us.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Let's like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell.
Who are the guys that are the best in the world and make the rest of the team look like a gaggle of girls?
Okay, I'm in my local Ralph's, and this happened.
I don't go to church, and I know God understands. I can
Man, where do they keep the honey around here? Excuse me, you know where the honey is?
Who are the guys that are the best in the world and make the rest of the team look like a gaggle of
Cheese
girls?
Al. Who wants cheese head?
I don't go to church, and I know God understands. I can stay on my couch because God is a fan of the Bears.
Who are the guys that are the best in the world and make the rest of the team look like a gaggle of girls? The Bears!
I don't go to church, and I know God understands. I can stay on my couch because God is a fan of the Bears.
Who are the guys that are the best in the world and make the rest of the team look?
Yes, sir. Mouthpiece included in the building. All right. So y'all who might not know the format, we always give you a quick overview of what's to come. So we got how about those Bears? Got some information coming out of the OTAs. Also, how about them Bulls? Don't know if we got much there. Of course, we have those Cubs, those White Sox, and then weekly hot topics with the steamer. The hottest topic being the history of black pro grapplers. Came across some females too I wasn't aware of. Interesting. So that being said, let's get our resident Silverback co-host in the building. Jackie Robinson's finest management. Jackie Robinson West for some reason.
Mouthpiece included.
Hey, why they call y'all Jackie Robinson West? You're smack dab in the Midwest, and you're smack dab on the far south side of Chicago, and even that, I'd say, yeah. Why is that West? Is there an East? Is there a North? Talk to me.
I really don't know the history of that story. I'm going to find that out for you. But it was just a name that the league was developed upon back in the day. It was the founder in 1970 years ago.
You said 71?
Yeah, it's been 50 years for Jackie Robinson, which was celebrated last year. It was actually 1970, but because of COVID, we had to push it back. It was just a name that Mr. Haley wanted for the league. So previously, back in the days, the teams were spread out over different parks.
Yes, sir.
Because there were a lot more kids playing baseball, not specializing, in baseball as opposed to, going to these travel teams in basketball and dedicating to football and, forcing them to play one sport, as they do nowadays. They have to specialize. So there's a lot more athletes playing baseball in multiple sports. And, they went on to do great things. But now it's more of a speciality. If you're a baseball player, you got to play baseball year round and compete. I don't know why. Nowadays, I think all kids should try and excel in whatever sport they feel they want to play. It's a money grab. So Jackie Robinson was at these different parks, and they all met up to at the end of the year to form a tournament team. I guess when the states got bigger for Little League, they condensed it all to one. Unfortunately.
All right. Anything going on? Appreciate that history, man. That means when I was playing against Jackie Robinson and the All-Stars, 77, 78, 79, maybe 79, 79,
yeah,
78. It was pretty early. And then,
yeah, you're right in the crust of the core of the league being made.
Yeah, a bunch of thugs, a bunch of young thugs. These thugs were playing against. No, they wasn't bad. It was I remember a league called ALC. But what's been going on they were thugs. I think they were from Inglewood. But what's going on in your neck of the shot, bro?
In my neck of the shot, we're trying to keep it mellow. You got I can't understand people still shooting on the expressway with gas at $6 a gallon. Seven is going up to $7, but I don't know how you buy the bullets and put gas in the car. But that's the shot. Everything's cool. Weather is cool. We haven't hit our heat wave yet. We get a couple 90s here and there. But then it jumps back down to 70 and 65 yesterday. Went up to 70 something today. But we just chilling in the shot, trying to keep the ministry going of the kids getting out there playing ball. It's a wonderful thing to see, man. All these young cats getting out there trying to achieve their dream, or play in the stadium, or whatever they think they want to do as far as baseball. More kids are needed, but we're still in the boundary rules of Little League, as far as only the kids from in these boundaries go to certain schools can play in the league or live in the neighborhood. It's always great to see the new parents and the kids coming out, playing on the ball field and enjoying playing a sport. Staying out of trouble.
Facts. Well said. And you said that awful humidity ain't started smacking y'all around yet, huh?
No, not the humidity, not even the bugs. Although we've had a boatload of rain, the bugs haven't hit yet. I guess because it gets cold every other day, and I don't know if it kills them or what. But,
no, they just stay in the eggs longer. Wait till that steam, that heat and steam come. They're gonna be out there.
Be out there at night getting torn apart.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't miss out here on the left coast.
Mm-hmm.
All those mosquitoes and flies and stuff like that. You barely see them.
That's fantastic.
But yeah, I guess they got better sense than us, bro. They're not gonna be hanging out no desert where ain't no water at.
Right. Yeah, they just stay in the Midwest. Wait till they can go out there and gang bang on people's skin at these baseball games at night. Going to the water over there at Lake Michigan.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do entertain yourself. But
I bet
like
you
you
when
said,
when they come across that RH negative blood, they be like, oh, delicacy over here.
for sure, for sure. But we just gotta do what we do. Gotta be careful here in the Chi. It's always the greatest place in the world in the summer.
Best summertime city on the planet.
Yeah, you just gotta go to the places that people with some sense hang out.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, well said. Let's go ahead and kick this edition off. Yeah, I saw some banter, some stuff coming through about your socks. I know you've been talking about that manager, and there's
Yeah,
some talk about getting rid of him, I guess.
yeah, we're trying to get them on the on that list of Joe Madden and Joe Girardi of experienced managers have to find their next job. Or for this particular manager, I believe it should be retirement. Doesn't put the team in the best situations to win, but he's Reinsdorf's the owner's buddy, so it's going to be tough for him to pull the trigger mid season. Although we got a general manager title, but everything goes through Reinsdorf as far as baseball. So this is his friend. His friend said, "I got this job, and nothing's going to happen to me because he's got his inside plug with the owner. So he feels he can do whatever the hell he thinks he is still working nowadays. These players he probably can't even speak to. He's got to speak to through his bench coach or whatever. Blah. But it's not working. It's not working. We got some players hurt, pitchers hurt, but I don't know what they're going to do to mix it up, get the team going, get them hot. But the weather's turned. It is a little chilly in some games, but there's no excuse. You got to hit the ball. You got to catch the ball. You got to pitch the ball.
Well, I'm looking at they're 26-29, playing 473 ball. These are the Sox. Yeah. 5.5 out of the first place behind the first place Twins. 4-6 over their last 10. 12-15 at home. 14-14 on the road. But when you look overall at the big picture, they're still in the playoff picture. When you look at all those teams that make the expanded playoffs these days, they're right there in the thick of things, there, fella.
Yeah, so are the Bulls. I mean, you lace them up in spring training and get ready to put your team out there to win a championship. And while you got these young players, you still don't have enough pitching, of course. You want to be in a position to actually compete once you get to the tournament. And our downfall for the last two playoff runs has been pitching. Yeah, they haven't had anyone to hand the ball to win. It's been hopefully this guy does well. Hopefully this guy does well. Let's snatch him in the fourth inning. Let's see what the bullpen does. That's not even going to get it done in the playoffs.
Yeah. They said the bats aren't even, the hitters ain't even hitting this year so far.
Yeah, so they're I guess waiting or hoping that they get hot at a certain point in the season and be able to challenge the Twins. But the Twins have always had a program where if they weren't winning that year, they were retooling for the next year or the next couple of years, and they're in first place now. So hopefully they can catch them to not be in that wild card game or whatever the crap you do at the end of the season for the participation trophy. But we'll see.
Yeah, pretty soon everybody's going to make the playoffs. Just go ahead and make the regular season completely meaningless. All right, but go Sox. So we're going to jump over to the National League where my Cubs are 23-33.
Yeah.
41% winning percentage. 8.5 games behind the Brew Crew. 4-6 over the last 10. 11-20 in Wrigley. And 12-13 on the road.
So it sounds like they should stay on the road. Like better food, pizza, whatever they're eating, whatever their routine is before the games. They can try using them at home so they can play some 500 ball. They played at Sox over the last weekend. They split the game series with the Sox. And we got some injuries. Tim Anderson got hurt in that series. Big loss on the injured list. Lost for the Sox.
Yeah, I don't think the Cubs got pride though. I mean, like if the visitors are coming in spanking them, that means the Cubs are the ones distracted by the neighborhood bars and all the partying and stuff that's going on right there at the ballpark.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on at the ballpark. They got the guy they thought they wanted to lead the team, and then they got rid of all the players. So, if the general manager's job is to make money for the team, and the end result is supposed to be winning, but I believe, of course, they're still making money. But the winning
should be drafting players who can play like on grass, like play in your stadium.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that goes back to, the change of baseball, the chicks loving the long ball, not getting players with
Cubs
speed.
should have speed. Yep. Yeah. On that thick grass. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
They get some speed.
But, we like to have the non-melanated over there on the north side because that's the neighborhood they're in.
Yeah. I mean, it's
not saying they can't be speed.
It's funny as a youth, of course we came home from school and the Cubs were on every day because they had all the day games. But they had, they had a plethora of melanated players through the years. And, all that's changed. Mm-hmm. So they can find some guys that can hit 30 home runs a year, but strike out, 200 times. I don't know what the formula is for success nowadays.
Well, now that you mentioned it, it's probably the same analytic the NBA is using. I'm finding the NFL is doing it too. It's the analytic to get Jim White guy bigger contracts and make Jim White guy's game more valuable.
Yeah. I started watching the finals last night. I don't want to jump into the NBA right away, but I was turning to watching Star Wars. I really can't watch it, even the playoffs anymore. I used to, I couldn't watch the regular season, but the playoffs is turning. The finals is turning today.
Farce.
I haven't 3-ball shooting.
Yeah, I haven't watched it in years. Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. We're actually, no, we're not there. Yeah, actually, we can go there now. We can go. We'll come back. We'll come back to the Bears. But any Bulls? Well, go ahead with your finals updates because you're here. So.
Yeah, I mean we're the series is 2-1. The Warriors gave up the home court advantage at home, losing that game, and then they went to Boston last night and got bullied by the Celtics big guys. Shot blocking, using their big guys against the Warriors little guys. The Warriors centers out for the year, Wiseman. So they really don't have any size to compete with the Celtics. And I think if the Celtics keep playing bully ball, I don't think the series will make it out of Boston.
Wow. Are they bullying Draymond too?
Yeah, he fouled out last night. Yeah. He said he played like crap or, sugar honey iced tea in front of his son on the podium last night. But, yeah, I mean, he's not big enough to deal with these guys. He got a guy, two Williams guys on the team that'll come out and use their fouls and protect the rim. So if they're not hot from that 3-point line, they really don't have a chance that night.
Yeah, that's why this is some garbage.
Yeah.
Every game's pretty much it's all about just cranking up threes and hit or miss. It's like a video game, bro. It's like we used to tell coach, man, you can't play like this. This isn't real basketball. Nobody runs around the court doing this crap.
Oh, gang, just to win a championship. But that's the NBA now, and it's pretty hard. So,
I find it hard to believe that you don't have a coach out there, and we've said it on this show before. Said, give me Embiid, you know, give me these bigs, and we're about
yeah,
to go old school with the old school point guard style play, and we're gonna pound
yeah,
it down low and drop
yeah,
step and dunk
yeah,
and block your shots, slow the game down, walk it
yeah,
up. You know what I mean? It's just
yeah.
amazing that nobody does that.
Yeah, 100 and everybody trying to score 120, 130 points a game, as
Right.
opposed to, shortening the game, using your strengths.
Playing some
And
defense.
yeah, and I guess, this brother for the Celtics, I think that's his strategy. It looks like his first year coach is going to win him a championship if he sticks with it.
Yeah, but that's why these injuries, as much as they do to try to curb the injuries, with all that back and forth up and down the court, guys are still getting hurt.
Yeah,
All those possessions.
yeah, yeah, hurting their legs, or, people going up underneath them when they're shooting those threes, or you see the players trying to get these 4-point plays by tossing the ball up and seeing if they can get underneath that guy, or the guy is close to him, get another foul and maybe get a 4-point play if they hit this three. But
Mm-hmm.
they, and down court constantly shooting.
But Ace, when you average it out, it's series averages 105 for Golden State, 108 for Boston. So, instead of every game being by 3 or 2 or 5 points like back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
you win by 20. I'll come back, win by 20 the next game. You win by 25. And this is some garbage. But Steph is averaging 31 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Tatum, 22 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists. Nice on the assist numbers.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, he goes to the hole. They can foul him, but he's, everybody that guards him is smaller than him. So if he concentrates on going to the hole, he's going to get his numbers end up going up with free throws. And, he's got the bigs behind him protecting the rim. That guy Williams last night was destroying it, throwing all kind of shots out of bounds. But
That's good.
yeah.
But see, if Golden State loses and it goes 7 games, Steph will mess around and get the MVP.
That would be interesting.
It's a new day. It's happened before. It's a new day.
Participation trophy for the MVP too.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we had it for the league MVP, so why not in the finals?
Correct. All right, so you got any Bulls? I ain't heard nothing about them Bulls.
Everything about the Bulls is rumors. Rumors about Zach LaVine signing with this team, signing with that team, signing with that team. So I don't know how his talks are going with the Bulls. The latest is him going to Charlotte and them
Let him
signing.
go. There's no way he's worth max money, bro. I mean, I can't say it enough.
Yeah, I mean, I don't believe it. I mean, there are big players. There'll be players out there that can help your team as much as him. You got
to be able to get me out of the first round. Or be like Tracy McGrady. I mean, you know what I'm saying. I probably would have paid him.
Right? But they haven't even gotten to the playoffs till DeRozan got here this year.
Correct. He can't even get us there by himself.
Right. So like you said, you need 3 superstars to be close to getting the championship. I don't know if the ball kid is a superstar, but he would have helped them. But they would have been in the same position as Golden State if they had made it further, as far as being undersized,
right?
Having to count on the 3-pointer,
and then getting bullied.
Yeah, and it's terrible that the Warriors have to play that game. They're getting bullied by a bigger team, but their big man's out for the year, and they really don't have an answer right now.
That guy's been gimpy his whole career. I mean, love him as a player, but
yeah,
So if you're counting on just him and you don't have any other bigs and you didn't trade for any bigs, that's one thing Phil always had was some old crusty bigs
Yeah,
because he
yeah.
knew anything could happen and you need some bigs down there.
You need somebody to rebound and protect the rim.
Correct. Yeah.
Unless you
Phil
got
didn't care how old they were.
Yeah.
Parrish, Cartwright.
You need those hard nosed players, those men.
Yeah.
You needed those men that were willing to do the work to get you where you needed to go.
Yeah.
Even the unmelanated players, if they were, if they can come in and hit a shot or take those fouls or do whatever they need to do to help the team. Where you had Money out there or Kobe out there, doing his thing. You'd have success as far as getting to a championship, a three-peat.
Yeah, you don't have to reinvent the wheel, so to speak.
Yeah. But you have the introduction of the European player to the game, and instead of them adjusting to NBA basketball, the game has adjusted to them.
Facts.
And this new coaching strategy of 3 points is better than 2. But unfortunately, if you're not hitting threes,
then no points. We're okay with that.
Okay, no. We're okay by losing by 20 or 30 tonight. We'll try it again. We'll try it again tomorrow.
Right, because the three's not falling. Right. It's bizarre to me, man.
It's asinine as far as basketball is concerned.
My game was predicated on the 3. And, either you're feeling it or you're not. And I can imagine having a coach, just keep shooting. You don't keep shooting, I'm taking you out. Bro, the last 3 shots was air balls, man. It'll fall.
Keep shooting.
But I'm 3 for 30. Once it starts falling, we're down 50 points.
Right. You got to have that Reggie Miller mentality. Yeah. I can't shoot.
These guys are grabbing it off the long rebounds and yamming on us on the other side of the court. The crowd is going crazy.
Going nuts. They're loving defense and the layups and the dunks.
Right.
At home.
So a nice solid layup or dunk, it used to be, the crowd quieter. A 3 could do it too if you're on. But if you're not,
Yeah, but if you're at home, you're playing defense. And, Golden State got to get over this championship hump. It's 2-3-2 in the finals. So, they're down 2-1. They got 2 more games.
I forgot about that. Yeah, it sure is.
Yeah. That championship hump is tough.
I don't think nobody's ever won them 3 games.
Yeah. It's tough. Even the Bulls.
I don't understand why they can't even justify that. If it makes sense in the finals, then you should be doing it every series.
Every series, right.
If it makes sense, right.
Right.
Why would you do that?
Just in the final.
One less travel day. No, this is the finals. Everybody likes that. We'll
right.
wait. Right.
Wait 2-3 days and get the game in.
Yeah. Why you want to save money and pinch pennies during the finals is beyond me.
Right. When you got the most viewership supposedly and
correct.
Making the most money.
The NBA should be putting up for the Learjet, for the private jets, and for the they should be putting them in the 4 seasons all during the finals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just like the NFL does for the Super Bowl.
Right.
They buy the whole city. All the hotel rooms, they have the parties and everything you need to do, and make it more of a festive time. It's the finals. This is it.
Right. It's the whole reason why we're playing. At least we used to think.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we're in a different era of the basketball mindset.
Period.
Yes.
All right, well, let's push past this. Let's get to how about them Bears? Now, there's been a lot of chatter, calling them over tough assholes, if you will, or at the OTAs, which I had to look up, stands for Organized Team Activities.
Right.
So what you got? What you got with your Bears news this week?
Hey, the coach is he's trying to change the culture. And it's something that, you commented on. Coach Eberflus. Trying to change the culture there down up in Dallas Hall from me. these guys are running out of bounds and scared to touch guys, and
I've been talking about that for a decade.
Yeah,
scared to get hurt.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's football. People
it's
are gonna get hurt.
Yeah. it's. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Right.
Like, yeah, people are gonna get hurt. I mean, you don't hear Bill Belichick talking about it. It's next man up.
Next man up. Got to build your roster.
Right.
Get some backups. Get some guys that want to play.
And for Eberflus to snap like that, he must have saw them walking around like little cupcakes, you know. Yeah, ginger booties.
Well, I'm
ginger booties.
Can you say that?
I don't know. It's Rainbow Month.
Yeah, it's probably, but
it's probably okay.
It's been a knock on the Bears for a number of years, how soft they were, and
that's sad. We the Bears. We the monsters of the Midway.
Monsters of the Midway. The offensive guys are running out of bounds, trying to take 5-yard passes, and
no fullback coming up there laying a hat on the linebacker or laying a hat on the strong safety. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you're in Chicago.
Right.
The history of the team has been built on running the ball and strong defense. And now you want to go out.
The league that we built the history. You're right. The team and thus the league. Yes.
You got these guys. They bring in these offensive coaches, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
Don't want
from Canada and from California and scat.
Arena league.
Arena league, yep. We got to get some motion. 20 yards in the backfield on every play.
So by the time he gets to the line of scrimmage, he's damn winded.
He's tired, and that's why his ACL is snapping. Too much unnecessary running.
Yeah, they're running the jet sweep back and forth for the whole first half of the game. And the defense is sitting there looking like, oh, they're gonna run that again? It's the same damn formation. All right, here comes the jet sweep left, jet sweep right.
Yeah, but we would just keep handing it to the running back though. It was like even when we did our RPO when they tried to run that, like something's wrong.
Yeah, so
they're not running it right. They must not be teaching it right.
Well, we didn't have any offensive line play. The offensive line coach was bad. Everything involved with the Coach N-word era was just it was not conducive to winning the championship.
Definitely not, and definitely not conducive to Bear football.
Yeah. And people argue up and down about it should be a Bear, a former Bear. There's former Bears out there that can coach the team, but Bears never had any interest in them. Just want to bring them around, march them around the field at halftime or before the game, and bring these coaches out that they've found out, make your team score 50 points a game. Never happened.
Yeah, we need an offense. I mean, every team needs an offense, but we don't have to be. Okay, so Peyton Manning was putting up 40 points a game one season. That don't have to be us. Like, right. We was monsters of the Midway. Our defense, get a defense that's going to hold the other team to 11, 12 points a game. How about that? We're okay with that.
Yeah, score you 3 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns in the field goal. The other team's got 11 points. They can't win.
And knock the crap out of people all game.
Yeah.
That's Bear football. I don't know why they let ESPN and Fox Sports and all these candy ass people,
go to the analytics.
Yeah. That's why they're not winning and they're not playing modern football. They did that thing to the Bulls too. That's why we stopped running the triangle.
Yeah.
Said that thing ain't modern.
It's not working. Oh, yeah.
It can't work in the new modern basketball. If you're trying to shoot threes, I said it a couple weeks ago, just start it out, run it between half court and the top of the key then if you have to, if that's what you want to do. But the triangle works. Right.
It was good for 12 championships?
At least. All right. So anything else coming out of the Bears? Eberflus, he took the fine, and they got penalize 1 day of OTAs.
Yeah, that's fine. He's trying to evaluate the guys he's got because
See what
there's
they
next
made
year.
of.
You gonna make the team this year?
Yeah. Are you a female cat or not? I think that's what he's trying to figure out. Separate
Yeah.
the female cats from the
Yeah, and he and Poles are big on guys that weren't draft picks or high draft picks.
Yeah.
Maybe your lower picks
Chip
or
on
even
the shoulder guys.
yeah, or guys who weren't drafted at all. That can play football.
Yeah, effort guys.
Yeah. Which the Bears always used to have. They used to have guys that
Of course.
That were football players. They might not be specialized in certain positions, but they
might not run a 4-1. They might not run a 4-1-5 in the 40. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they're gonna come out there and play football. They know the fundamentals and they know their position. They know this other position.
They're not gonna miss tackles. You know what I'm saying? Right.
None of that. They're football players.
You got instinct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So especially with a team that has no damn identity, which I think he's trying to change. I'm sure he's trying to change also. Of and they can run the ball, play defense, and just in time is everybody's
raving about him,
raving about his work ethic, his change in his footwork, his timing increasing. And he's working with the wide receivers that he has.
And they're calling plays. This guy at Green Bay keeps saying he's going to call plays that the guy can run. They do that with the best quarterbacks in history. Yeah. If you had Joe Montana in his prime, he's going to sit down and say, hey, look, these are my 20 best plays. And if you don't call these every game, I want to go to another team. Right. You know, basically, this is how I run my stats up. Right?
Yeah. Right. I got Jerry Rice running around and, he can move to any different position.
Right. And run a slant. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna hit you about 15 yards, and you do what you do.
You're gonna run another 80. Right.
So
we don't need to change all of this. Right.
Yeah. All the chunk plays they call them. Although Justin has a good deep ball, but they're trying to set up the offensive line for play action where he has time to throw the deep ball. You got a fullback in.
Again, it's not all on the offensive line. You got to call run plays.
Yeah.
For people to bite on the playoffs, on the play actions. You got to playoffs. Right. You got to call.
Trying to make it to the playoffs?
You kidding me right now? You got to call some run plays. We had a good back, that was getting yards.
Yeah.
But then we ran play action. We attempted play action less than any team. It was like one of the lowest play action percentages in the history of the league.
That's absolutely nuts.
Nuts. So you're afraid that we can't block in the play action, but we could do a 9-step drop with the same line. 7-step drops all game.
Same line without a quarterback who wasn't getting any reps in preseason.
No shotgun. Right. This kid loves a shotgun, pretty much stood back there in college. We just won't call it. Although I'm not a shotgun guy. I like to use it on third down or, long situations. I want to run the center. I want a threat to run the ball. And when I run the ball, I don't want that little candy-ass handoff inside and the running backs
runs
find a little hole.
Runs right into the defensive tackle and falls down.
Yeah.
And your running back is probably number one in the league for yards after contact. Unfortunately, because he has to be. But if you set up a scheme where he's getting downfield and his runs after contact is coming at the second level or the third level,
correct.
Now you're doing something.
Then they're gonna bite on that play action. And then Justin even had a decent play action QBR. When they did run it. It was and it was great at Ohio State. So how you could not put those plays in is ridiculous.
No interest. That's why that guy's gone. He's a quarterback somewhere. For a guy who doesn't.
He should have been gone the day he said he was going with the ginger. They should have had the GM. You go in there and you fire him right now. No, I want you to do it publicly. And if you can't do it, I'm firing both of y'all publicly.
Yeah, the Ginger is
You
our
know what I'm
quarterback.
saying?
Oh, hold on, folks. We're gonna have a meeting in the back. We'll be right back. Finish the
Yeah.
press conference.
I want you to cut the Ginger. I mean, seriously, this is what you do when you're the president of football operations and this kind of shit. You're gonna cut the Ginger. You're gonna fire the N-word, or I'm firing all three of y'all.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
Well, who's gonna do it? You got nobody to do it. I'll do it if I have to.
We just gave the Ginger a $10 million. Yeah, it's okay.
Pop, that's peanuts in the NFL.
Right, for a quarterback. For a quarterback.
And according to Diesel, if they would have picked up the other guy, the Ginger, somebody would have picked him up and gave him $5-6 million. You'd only been on the hook for about $3-4 million of that money for one season.
Somebody would have put him on the bench for
yeah.
You just drafted a quarterback.
Yeah.
Draft your
correct.
You start this guy. You can find somebody else, but to come out and say that there's no competition for your starting quarterback position, no matter who do you have on the roster, to
castrate your stud quarterback.
Yeah,
that's basically what he did.
Yeah. And I think the third string guy was better than him. If you would have put some players together that he liked.
Right.
I mean, because he was worth what?
I agree.
You would have traded him, he'd been worth a 1 or 2. So
yeah, I know. He tried to change it. I got to go back in the tapes. I'm gonna find it because I had to talk him down off of that. And maybe it was just in phone conversations, but he was definitely talking about with low 1. I was like, dude, you got to be. We had a long ass conversation about that shit. Like, man, you know what I mean? He's not worth it. If he was worth that, he'd be starting on somebody's team right now.
Yeah, but he came out. That's another thing. He came out and won a game for you at the end of the year, and
but that makes the N-word look bad.
Yeah, so that's why he set him down.
He didn't like exactly.
Set him down next week, and instead of looking for some momentum or maybe this guy can figure out this bullshit offense I got. He's like, yeah. I think he went back with the Ginger.
He was probably audibling. He's probably audibling out of all those pussy ass plays. He was going up in there, and you know what I mean.
Right,
They're not going to send that guy in motion this play. Right.
Absolutely. Well, he's been on record as saying that I know this play isn't going to work. I'm looking at the defense. Exactly. I'm an experienced quarterback. I'm a damn Super Bowl MVP, and this play is not going to work.
Exactly. And we got to run something else.
That's why that guy's going.
But you remember, they were happy. He's never seen anybody get us in and out of the huddle like that. Boy, they were talking about the Ginger.
Yeah, he's commanding the huddle.
He'd have been fired in. Come in my office. Is this you? What the fuck are you talking about? This isn't bitty ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about? This is a low-key shot at our rookie quarterback.
Right. Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And had you prepared him, had he been getting the number one, right, he would be getting them in and out of the huddle. Correct.
Yeah. So the raving about him is his timing, his leadership, and getting in and out of
calling the plays.
Calling.
Is he your offensive coordinator assistant? I mean, what is he?
Yeah.
He should have been helping Justin. All right, but you got any more Bears banter before you push past this?
Follow up on the last article that we saw that says the Bears are the worst team in the NFL. I saw one today stating that they had the worst receiving corps in the NFL, according to I guess not having any quote unquote stars. But again, like I said before, until they hit the field, until they get into the offense, until we see what Justin can do with the coach that wants to run plays that he likes, it's absolutely impossible.
Correct. And I like that rookie. And they're going to draft, when we get a pick within the next year or two, they're going to draft a number 1 receiver for this guy.
Sure.
You know, we just had so much foundational things.
Yeah.
Getting receivers and stuff Ace. It's like not fixing the roof on a new home and putting in brand new hardwood floors and kitchen counters and shit.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm
Expecting it to
saying?
work. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. But the underflooring is all messed up and molded, but you don't care.
Yeah. Okay.
You know.
You got the pretty fake wood on top of it.
And the Tesla out there. You got a Tesla, but you can't charge it because, the electricity's all messed up, rotted in the house. Right.
Yeah.
Fresh coat of paint on the outside, though. Yeah.
So, it's like I said before, it's a building year. The hope for this year is just an improving, them building a foundation to
Coach.
changing the coach.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Changing the coach. Because, as a defense, how could you have respect for this guy? And as an offense, well, I mean, I'm a coach and word. And as an offense, how can you respect a coach just not putting you in a position to win? And that's what they went through. Now, they won games in spite of him.
Exactly.
And got to be in a position for the participation trophy.
Correct.
But, that's not going to get you to where you're trying to go. Definitely not here in Chicago. Defense running the ball.
Facts. That's it. Hard nosed, smash mouth football.
You got to have it from mid-October to now they're playing in January. You're going to be out there floating the ball around in the air, hoping it doesn't snow, hoping the elements don't come and
running out of bounds.
Yeah.
In front of a bunch of drunk Bears fans.
Yeah.
Sitting out there freezing and waiting for somebody to hit somebody since 1986.
Yeah. Running the ball on first down. Yeah, one of them plays you might get 8 yards. And then the next second and third down, you can't get the final 2 yards to get the first down. Because,
you won't even run
it.
You won't even run it on the second and third down.
Yeah.
Won't even run it. Come out there and gash them. Get 9 yards.
Yeah,
won't even run it.
Make them stop.
All right, so let's push past this. So, ESPN, bro. Not TATN, y'all. ESPN. There were some fake news allegations they reported about a Tennessee college player. They said he was out due to PEDs, bro. And they had to apologize. It was announced during a ball game by I think the color commentator.
What happened to this supposed journalism and vetting the story, especially before you try and ruin someone's career?
I'd sue the shit out of him if I was this kid's family, or if I was this kid. I wouldn't let this go. I'd sue the shit. It'll be a quiet settlement with the league, with the ESPN. So the announcer, ESPN's Troy Eklund, probably one of these dog whistlers. I don't know what's in his heart. Probably allegedly, in my opinion, one of these dog whistlers.
Okay.
A former Arkansas baseball player made the statement during the broadcast. He said that a Tennessee player was suspended from the NCAA baseball tournament for PEDs. Tennessee, the nation's #1 team and host of the Knoxville Regional, defeated Alabama State 10-0 earlier in the day. It did so without star catcher / outfielder Evan Russell. Been meaning to pull him up and see if he's some sort of cutlet. Who was a surprise scratch from the lineup. Eklund, 55, he's at that dog whistling age, announced that Russell didn't play because he failed a PED drug test. It was pretty crazy, Eklund said. He failed a drug test, so Evan Russell is suspended for the rest of the season. So Tennessee's going to have the whole rest of the team rested tomorrow, or the NCAA is. Performance-enhancing drugs is what is being said. This is what this guy said on TV. Neither of those things is substantiated. Russell wasn't suspended for a failed drug test, and the rest of the Tennessee team wasn't subject to NCAA drug testing because of the failed drug test. That didn't happen. It's unclear where Eklund got the information. Did they ask him? Well, did they ask
You're
him?
right. Right.
And then what did he say? No comment. Whoever did this article. But anyway, Tennessee head coach Tony Vitello told reporters after the Vols win that Russell was sick. This morning, a Tennessee spokesperson issued a statement to local reporters. And Evans Russell's absence last night had nothing to do with any violation of team NCAA or SEC rules. Russell's father, Jason Russell, look him up and see if he's some sort of colored, wrote on Twitter early Saturday that Russell had a health issue arise and that he hasn't failed any type of test or anything. Let's see. Okay, this is from his dad, I think. Evan has been cleared to play today. God is good. This is a tweet. Yes, his dad. To answer all concerns and doubt. Evan is good, and just to clarify, what he's been dealing with is anxiety, stress, and pressure. Basically, just the worries and conviction of the Lord. Evan's great. So this kid's having a mental break, potentially. And this piece of shit can keep his job.
After making up the whole thing. Yeah. Just making up the shit.
Who do you hear from? The Uber guy? The guy in the Uber?
Yeah, you probably heard from the guy down at the casino. Yeah, I got an inside tip. Catcher.
One of the grounds crew. I hang around here. I hear a lot.
Yeah. I mean, that's absolutely ridiculous. That's terrible. And the fact that he can keep his job after making up a story out of nowhere and a follow-up story as far as the whole team is unfathomable.
Man. And then trying to suggest, and this ain't the place for it, and how it's a distraction to the team and all this and that, right? And this guy's having an anxiety mental break.
Right, just besmirching him to the point that, it's a entire story for the number one team in the country, man. It's unbelievable.
And I'm sure all the other journalists and scoops, like, I haven't heard this. Where's this guy getting this information? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I got the inside track.
He said,
got the track.
So right. So Eklund said, I'd like to take this opportunity to apologize to Tennessee's Evan Russell and the volunteer program. He should have said to Evan's family for inaccurate, unsourced information. I use inaccurate, unsourced. What the fuck does unsourced information? I use Friday night.
Does
that mean he made it up?
Well, like I said at the guy at the sports book, like, man, I got a hot tip.
Oh shit!
My cousin, uncle, sister's brother's mother's father, cousin, sister, daughter, heard that he's on the juice.
I mean, Ace he said I had a source and I'm going to protect my source, and you know what I mean? I trusted this source. I'm not going to use them anymore. I can respect. This schmuck said unsourced information. He said it was used in error and should not have been referenced. I regret any hurt or harm that it might have caused.
Wow. Well, and it's going to hang around this kid's neck, all the way through, if his next step is a pro career.
Looks like it is if he can get his mental together. This kid's playing catcher too. Yeah. So for him to put that out there, it's on his record basically for baseball. Yeah, they got to investigate it. Yeah, but on top of that, you got the mental part that he had to come out with, and his father had to reveal. Because of the false allegations. Right. His dad shouldn't have revealed that. Yeah. In my opinion. No. It's nobody's business. He doesn't have the polish to speak with the press. He should have, funneled all that through the coach. Well, but he tweeted it. It's that damn Twitter. Yeah. Sitting at home. Yeah. Can't say that about my beau. All right. Troy Eklund. So after that apology, they wasn't good enough. So he had to issue another statement. While I made a statement on air today, I again want to extend my most sincere apologies to Evan Russell and his family, Coach Vitello, and the entire Vols organization and fan base for comments I made in error yesterday. I know Coach Vitello and believe he knows where my heart is coming from. Dog whistling. And that I didn't mean to cause any harm. I'm truly sorry and will work to do better in the future.
Yeah, the team's lawyer probably called ESPN. Like, this guy doesn't retract the statement and do immediate apology. But the damage is already done. Yeah.
Yeah. Now you're a baseball manager, Ace. It says number 10-1. Start Friday's broadcast. I was trying to get to what made me think he was going pro. I thought it was something at the top of the article. Maybe I'm missing it. But at the bottom, in 52 games this season, Russell hit .299 with 13 home runs, 43 ribbies, and 6 stolen bases. And he helped lead the Vols to their first SEC championship since 1995.
Okay. He's a stud.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
The road to the show is a long road. It's a tough road.
Oh yeah.
And just to hang this on this kid's profile, it might put him a step back.
He's a catcher / outfielder, and catchers, man, you can get a job in the NFL if you can. In the MLB if you can catch some pitches and call a game and hit 250.
Yeah. Plus, he must have a gun for an arm. He's an outfielder and a catcher.
Mm-hmm.
For the number one team in the country.
Right.
Right. It's just not fair. Whether he's melanated or not. There's not too many melanated catchers. But to throw this kid under the bus on a undocumented source.
And just adding on, the whole team's got to get tested as a result of this clown.
Yeah, I got that straight from the NC 3A. This is NCAA's. Oh, well, it was an undocumented source. So, they'll understand.
And he's a pink guy. He's not some sort of color. Looks like he's a ginger.
Yeah. Like I said, most catchers.
Especially in Tennessee.
Yeah.
He's a ginger.
Yeah.
And we haven't heard the family talking about lawsuit, so that made me think. I know pink people sue. They lead the world in suing. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
They must have worked something out.
Quietly.
Yeah. Probably. There may be a TV channel. Well, the SEC got their own channel, but something for their games next year. It wasn't just a heartfelt apology that he felt he needed to give. I'm sure there was some type of litigation threatened or something to make this apology.
Yeah, that Mark said unsourced news. Wow. I mean, we might as well just start our own sports newspaper. And this son of a bitch, the reason he missed the last game, this son of a bitch was at the strip club all night. Spent over $75 million. Oh, I'm sorry for any harm I may have caused to him and his family for this unsourced news. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they told me this. It's my job to report the news.
Because he came back from the strip club with COVID. The whole team had to get tested. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You can just you can run that fantasy in all kind of different directions.
Man, like the National Enquirer. All right, let's push past that. Unless you had something to add to it.
No, it's yeah.
Right.
Well, we
Dumb
know
Elway.
We know how they do.
Dumb Elway. I was a big John Elway guy. You loved him on the Tecmo Bowl.
Dumb Elway.
Yeah, remember that? The ball over the middle, and then he could run too. Chucky if he had a bum out there.
Yeah.
But 900 million reasons why dumb Elway. So apparently, um, he had an opportunity. The organization was trying to pay him out with stocks
Yeah.
towards the end of his career, and he had nothing to do with that.
No
And
interest.
so he was owed 21 million in a deferred salary. They gave him option number 1. John could buy 10% of the team for 15 million. They still was going to give him 6 million. 10% of an NFL team for 15 million. Option number 2, John could have another 10% if he agreed to relinquish the 21% salary in whole. So he could have got 20%. Now, dumb Elway. So basically, for a combined 36 million with only 15 million in cash coming out of his pocket, he could have bought 20% of the Broncos.
Wow.
At that level, Bolin was offering 20% of the Broncos at $180 million overall team evaluation. So he was giving them a play.
A super play.
As if that offer wasn't generous enough, Pat gave John a 100% risk-free insurance policy. If after 5 years John wanted out, he could sell his stake back to Bolin for his purchase price plus $5 million. So not only risk-free, literally get paid $5 million more if he changed his mind.
So that either, well, I mean, John, maybe John has CTE.
Hold it. I want you to comment because it gets dumber. I want to get all the dumbness out. Because I know if he was some sort of black guy, Stephen A. Smith would be all over him.
Oh, yeah.
And in case you're wondering, Ace, if Elway could have afforded $15 million down in 1998, at that point, he had earned $50 million in salary and another $20 million from endorsements back then. Just 1 year earlier, he had sold John Elway all those franchises for $82 million. So he had the capital. So $15 million for a risk-free opportunity to own 20% of an NFL team. And not only that, he took that money that he got and invested it in a sham. So he lost money on top of money. He invested the $15 million. He invested in what eventually proved to be a $150 million Ponzi scheme. So not only did he not make any return on the $15 million, he lost a bit more than half of the investment. And he could have had guaranteed NFL. Now go ahead and comment on dumb Elway. I just wanted to give that background. And he's running a team.
I mean, yeah. I mean, how could you put this guy in charge of your franchise? He had a chance to never have. Well, I mean, I don't think he has to work now, but his kids and his grandkids would have never had to work again, based on just this investment of money that he already had, a risk-free. Now, how many great melanated players get the opportunity to own 20% of the team based on a small investment of a league that you worked in to grow, and it's going to continue to grow, and that they have TV contracts for a certain amount of years that you're going to get paid.
And 10% at that valuation, 10% would have costed him $18 million. They were giving him twice and guaranteeing it, just like whoever the Ponzi scheme came around.
Yeah.
And I guarantee it, you can't lose.
Can't lose?
He went with the Ponzi guy instead of the guy who had a whole football franchise. I just don't.
Maybe,
go ahead, Ace.
Maybe he never saw it being worth $4.5 billion.
Yes, and that's the cream that was just the cherry on the top. So the team was just sold for $4.5 billion, and I believe he's an employee for the team.
He's an employee,
president, but he's still an employee. And so he would have made $900 million in the sale, or been in a position to buy more stock,
Increases ownership, yes.
possibly been principal owner.
That's hard to fathom for a pink guy. But I mean, it's between him or his agent.
Was he on MEP? No, baby, I need that cash, baby. I mean,
Yeah, you can't lose. You put in a position that you can't lose.
can't lose.
And you've garnered all of this money over the past year between business sale, salary, and endorsements. And this deal you can't lose on.
Guaranteed, if after 5 years you get cold feet, I'll give you all your money plus an extra $5 million. You got to take that deal just on the strength of that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I had to call a billionaire friend of mine.
I'm gonna have cold feet, all right. Where do I sign? I mean,
Yeah.
if you thought it was a bad deal, like,
yeah. But you're coming off a Super Bowl, so what would make you think that
the team would lose value?
Yeah.
Right. He had to know they were building a new stadium and all the plans. Yeah. He had to know all of that.
Yes. Yeah.
And who was his financial advisor? His plug? Come on, Johnny, baby. Nah, don't do that, baby. You just keep buying the shit from me and putting it up your nose.
It had to be, because there's no way. There's no logical way. I guess he wouldn't even talk. He must not have talked to his wife. She should have been putting him in the slapping machine. Like, we can't lose. It's investment for a number of years. Even if this NFL thing doesn't work out, we're going to get the money back in 5 years.
And walking paper couldn't imagine the Hallis family doing something like that.
Oh my gosh, they would probably kill his whole family.
Man, they'd offer them 3. So for that money we owe you, we give you 1.5%. Ain't no guarantees.
And you get your own parking space.
You shared parking with the guy in charge of Andy Front. Yeah. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
And this guy's making decisions, bro.
Yeah.
I know he's kicking himself.
He should be, or maybe he's not bright enough to kick himself, or his brain still rattle around in the cage about what he should have did. But the fact that they adored you or your career so much that the end of that would be ownership and the team. Wow.
He just threw his white privilege away.
Yeah, that's an unprecedented NFL offer.
Unprecedented.
Yeah.
He spit in the person offering him all that. He spit right in their face. Yeah. John, you've been hanging around with the Moolies too long. All right.
I'm not trying to shoot dice with you. I want to keep 20% of the damn team.
You're trying to make your kids rich.
Right. Even at a value of $180 million, man.
They gave him 50% on the evaluation. Plus $5 million. I mean, come on. Investors are dying for an offer like that from some idiot.
Right. Because you could have talked to anybody and said this thing's still going.
Man, and if he needed cash, Ace, he could have went and got a loan from a bank at a low interest for the $15 million.
Right.
He could have gotten a loan for the $15 million and had guaranteed. Like, it makes no sense.
Come on, man. Yeah,
we gotta move past it. Dumb. You said it the best though. When I sent you the article, what'd you say? Dumb. That's why we call him dumb Elway. I never thought he was too smart. I never.
Well, I mean, he ran those Super Bowls because Terrell Davis. They ruined his knees. Get Elway a Super Bowl, but dumb.
I agree. And
then he got the MVP.
Defense. Yeah, and they had a defense that year too.
Yeah, but you you put your quarterback out there and he wins the MVP, and your running back had 4,000 plus yards in the 2 seasons he won the Super Bowl.
And I bet they didn't offer that running back nothing like that.
No, they packaged up his shit and his house when they kicked him off the team.
He's still trying to get his CTE proceeds.
Okay.
All right, let's move on. So yeah, you mentioned Madden. Cubs, Sox got any interest in Madden? Should anybody bring him into town? Joe Madden.
The Cubs definitely won't bring him back. The Sox,
you think he'd be an upgrade from La Russa? They're both old.
At this point, no. I'd go to Girardi if I was going to do a retread coach.
Yeah.
At this time, as opposed to bringing Joe Madden back to Chicago.
I've always liked Girardi. Yeah. All right, I would
and
agree with you.
And he is a Cub. Well, he was a Cub. So
Yeah.
I don't know why they never had any interest in him.
Yeah, I don't either. He wasn't a what's his name guy. Yeah. All right. So let's move past this. The Carolina Panthers. It's Rainbow Month, and they have a transsexual. Yeah,
they got a transgender.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, they got a transgender, Justine Lindsay, cheerleader. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, if there's nothing against it in their bylaws, I mean, why not bring them in for Pride Month? And
her, bro.
Yeah.
Can't say him.
You can't say him.
No.
Yeah, I don't know all the political correctness.
Yeah, that's a her. And I tell you what, when I saw his thighs, I'm like, man, I would have had him run some routes. You know what I mean? First, a cheerleader. First of all,
can you hit the hole?
Catch? Right.
I know you went in the combine. We're gonna go out here and do your 40 time. You think you can score touchdowns?
It's an interesting day, man. You'd have to be doing a lot of talking to your children. I'll tell you that much.
Well, I mean, you do now anyway. Dudes came and asked me, did you sign me up for a sex education class? I was like, nah, Chicago, son. The mayor signs you up.
She's got a bigger penis than you, son. All right. According to her. She's got a bigger penis than your dad, son. All right. So she signed you up. Any other questions? Right at the mayor's office.
Yeah. I'll work with you on English and drafting the letter, and you can write the letter. Yeah, we'll send it to the newspapers. We'll figure out what the hell's going on.
Yeah, and I never knocked nobody's hustle. So if she worked him's way all the way up to a dream job as a cheerleader. Hey, the Panthers signed her up. Big ups, and I guess progress. Can we call this? Is this progress?
Maybe that was Virginia's reasoning for getting rid of the honey bears. She knew one day the team was going to have to face it.
And there's Virginia McCaskey sitting up in the booth. She'd be like,
I told you.
They hit her with a little stun gun from the back when the camera went on.
What do you think about this, Virginia? That's why I got rid of the honey bears.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming.
All right, maybe she's a clairvoyant. Okay, all right. Your boy Primetime. Okay, so they got him, his son, and that stud recruit on the cover of Sports Illustrated. It looked like Prime hogged all of the camera.
Well, it's prime time, He can push those guys to the edges and get his arms out as far as
his own son, right.
Like, come on, Coach Prime.
You ain't won nothing as a Coach Prime. Like let your son and your top recruit have a moment.
Let him shine. Especially after the the Alabama crap. But
Prime was all in the front. He didn't even realize his son's suit wasn't even fitting right. You know, he didn't care. Yeah, yeah. You look good, son.
Yeah, it must be the money.
You ain't gonna upstage me.
Yeah. So when they flash, they say money. Must be the money.
Yeah, he was talking about how he's trying to teach the kids. You know, they weren't getting all that. Whatever. It's a new day, Prime. All right,
yeah.
man. Go ahead, bro.
Let the kids shine. I mean, come on, man. You got your program. Two of your best players featured on Sports Illustrated, which I don't think is probably ever happened. Probably since Walk. You know, but yeah, let the kids shine.
All right, Asa, and we're gonna do this topic, Black Pro Grapplers. It's gonna be a 2-part series.
All right.
So we got a couple simple central questions we're gonna ask this week, and then we got 2 more for next week. So first off, though, professional wrestling, Asa, are you a fan?
I was back in the 70s and 80s, probably the beginning of WWE.
You mean until you figured out it was fake, or you were still a fan after you knew it was fake?
No, probably after I went to my first live match.
Oh, and they were like, cut, powder, lights.
Which was with the WWE. You know, I saw all the fake punches and the fake falls and the
and them smacking the floor when they fall to make
and the Boston Crab they used to put on the wrestlers and all that. Once I saw all that was made up, I lost interest.
For me, I was into it with Dick the Bruiser and King Kong Brody around that time, but I remember somebody telling me, it's all fake. And once that happened, I'm like, oh, I'll never watch this shit again. Once, literally, I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean this is fake? You mean I've been watching this? It's all pre-decided. It's all fake. I was like, I will never watch this again. And I didn't. And I felt offended, that the whole world, allows this farce to go on. It's not like Santa Claus giving you, at least you're getting some gifts out of it. You know what I mean? All this prime sports was on, football. We had the NBA with Magic and Doc and all them and Walking Paper. And you expect me to watch this and it's fake? There's already no moolies out there, moolians.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, did I go with Shafe? I don't know. I don't know who I went with to see the first wrestling event. It might have been Faye.
But once you saw the fakeness and real up front,
I was like, this is no.
It's close to being real, huh?
Yeah. I think the next time I went to see a live wrestling event, it was
WWE.
It was Deuce's probably I think it was his 6th birthday.
Okay.
I took him. They came to.
He's going to see The Rock. Yeah.
No, it wasn't The Rock. It was a small event because it was at the Hammond Civic Center. They had the stars at the time. I think The Rock was making movies and stuff. He wasn't there, but all of the big time wrestlers at the time were at this event in this damn barn, and you can see it up close. How fake it was, and I don't think he's been really interested in it since.
This probably like, Dad, this is some bullshit. Sorry for cussing, but all right.
It's your birthday, son. Just drink the beer.
Right. Don't tell your mom. So I'm not a fan anymore. I think I was up until around, I think I was 8 or 9. I can't remember, but
Bobo Brazil was my man.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, you got some notables. So you liked Bobo Brazil. That's a brother, ain't it?
Yeah. It was. I think it was Sunday mornings it used to come on. It had to be Sunday because on Saturdays I was watching Soul Train.
Yeah, I think I had quit. I think I had quit watching wrestling by the time Bobo Brazil was coming through.
Yeah, but it was early Sunday mornings. Yeah, I would, they had a singing Ford dealer here in Chicago, Schmerler Ford or whatever, and sponsoring every damn wrestling wrestling event.
Yeah, they was just giving them cocaine.
Cocaine and steroids. Go out there and make it happen, son. But yeah, Dick the Bruiser, I think was Mag Dog, Bashan, and those different type wrestler characters was wrestling back in the day. I was still interested in it. I was young until then. After those guys got old, I stopped watching it, and then WWE popped up. Then I went to go see it.
Right, because it was NWA at first, wasn't it? Negroes with attitudes. But I think it was National Wrestling Association.
They had, they make up different different organizations as long as they can keep them together. And then once that organization ran out of money, then they started something else.
Yeah.
And somebody else paid them. Yeah.
All right, well, let me go through just a little bit of this. Professional wrestling has been around since the late 1860s. So the first black wrestler was in 1860 through 1870. His name was Viro, V-I-R-O, or Viro Smalls. They called him the Black Sam of Vermont, and he was actually a slave. He was once a slave and became the first black professional wrestler in Beaufort, South Carolina. Smalls became a proficient boxer and wrestler. He wrestled in the traditional elbow and collar technique.
All right.
Style of wrestling, choke you out, that began in Ireland and found its way to America. Had you heard of him?
Absolutely not. No, I haven't.
Yeah, me neither. I hadn't heard of him either.
So, it being 1860, so it must have evolved. We're going through his story, but it must have evolved from the Mandingo fighting.
It did.
Yeah,
it did.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, so in 1950s, we had an Ethel Johnson, female. So let's see here. Johnson began training at 12 and made her pro debut at 16 in 1950. 1950. 16 years old, she was already hitting the ropes. Johnson was known for her matches with her or against her sisters, Babs Wingo and Marva Scott. They would compete against each other across the U.S. in singles and tag team matches. Johnson would have a 26-year-long career, and in her final match in 76, she ended her career facing her sister Marva Scott. Man, we was around then, probably caught that. Her sister Marva Scott, which must have been an amazing feeling for two of them. She brought hope for not just the black community, but women all over the world looking to become major athletes.
Yeah, it sounded like afterwards type article. I'm sure they weren't paying them any damn thing. They were just
hell no. That's why she was wrestling all them years.
26 years, and female wrestling. So they weren't getting paid anything.
Right, she retired at 42 because she started so early. Now, your boy Bobo Brazil, the first unofficial African American world champion. Is this the one you sent me is this the one you sent me the video on?
No, that's Big Kamala.
Oh yeah. Okay, so Bobo, he was an unofficial champion. The first African American megastar in pro wrestling, was technically the first African American to hold a major world championship, and the first African American NWA World Heavyweight Champion. All three of those firsts prove that Bobo Brazil is one of the most essential men in pro wrestling for the black community.
Right.
In 62, he technically became the first African American World Heavyweight Champion when he defeated Buddy Rogers for the NWA title. However, things change. It's racial undertones. We don't know what's in the heart. When Buddy Rogers claimed to have been injured before the match, match. Brazil refused to take the title and wanted to have a rematch with Rogers once he was 100% healed. Turns out the injury was fake, and because of that, the local promotion did, in fact, declare Bobo Brazil as a champion. Was wrestling, maybe it wasn't always staged, huh?
I think it got to the point once they start going on television.
Yeah, right?
That,
People were getting hurt and shit. I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had to start staging some of the horrific moves and matches to sell to television. You know, as opposed to having them going out there and cutting their because that Dick the Bruiser used to have a razor blade. He used to slice his head.
Yeah.
So you'd be bleeding the whole damn. That's pre-COVID. Bleeding pre-magic.
Pre-HIV, yeah.
Yeah. And he cut his head and be bleeding the whole damn match while he's wrestling and throwing blood in your eye and it's all in his hair and yeah. So I mean,
I remember that came out.
It had to be partly still staged then. So I guess
I can't imagine these ex-slaves and stuff were part of the farce.
Well, I mean, if you're in that profession and you're trying to get paid, yeah, you're part of it. You're part of it, yeah. Because that was the craft that they were teaching them. You're going to go out there and fight hard and bang with Dick the Bruiser. He's going to start bleeding. He's going to fall down twice, and then he's going to win.
Yeah, they said he broke racial barriers, having matches with some of the biggest stars: Andre the Giant, Bruno Sammartino,
yeah,
Roddy Piper. You remember him? Antonio Inoki. Bobo Brazil's personality made him a star around the world. Many have referred to him as the Jackie Robinson of sports entertainment. Come on.
All right.
I mean, come on.
But
it's not real.
Unfortunately, he couldn't win a title on television
because it wasn't real.
Yeah, and that would have been the end of the sport.
And the legacy Brazil leaves behind, I would strongly agree. Brazil also has been the honor of the first African American to be inducted into the Hall of Fame of WWE in '94. So, yeah, that's what we got on Bobo. I think I was going to do one more of these, and we'll save the rest for next week.
All right.
Bearcat Wright. You heard of him? 1963. Bearcat Wright.
Right. No, he lived in the jungle, forest.
It's more of a racist name as a manager probably gave him. But in 1963, the WWA became the first wrestling promotion to have an African American hold a major championship when Bearcat Wright defeated Freddie Blassie to win the WWA World Championship. A title reign that lasted for 115 days until he was stripped of the title, as Wright refused to drop the belt. Honestly, who could have taken this guy down? He had crazy strength. He would regularly rip phone books in half like they were nothing just to pump up the fans. They were nothing. Those are dummy phone books. I mean, come on.
You gotta get with the program.
I guess I gotta get with the program.
Yeah, they're trying to sell a product.
All right, I guess so. But whoever wrote this article feels like he was ripping those phone books for real.
Maybe still thinks that way.
Mighty funny you don't see nobody ripping phone books anymore. But anyway, Bearcat Wright is a true fighter for the black community. Wright was once served a suspension from the Indiana State Athletic Commission after stating he would no longer fight until wrestling had become desegregated. Bearcat was a talented athlete and was adored by many. In 2017, he was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Man, went up against Big KKK in Indiana, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you got to go where the match is if you want to get paid. So
yeah.
He'd be driving around in his car, eating sandwiches that he made from food he probably got at the gas station. And yeah, he's a star.
You know, they don't even have your man's listed in this article.
Who that is?
My man said he had a pistol. Said he kept a pistol on him because dude was wrestling dirty with him. Then they told him you can't bring a pistol in the ring, so yeah, I had my knife. He's gonna shoot the man in the middle.
I don't know. It's a rough sport. I can't really deal with a janky promotion.
Yeah, that
So,
was your boy. He wasn't getting paid. The one you just mentioned, the African. Well, he wasn't African. He was from Mississippi, but the game was African.
Big Kamala.
Yeah, he's not even in here. He's not
Yeah.
even. How can he be out of this article on the history of black wrestlers?
Well, who wrote the article?
True. Let me make sure. Yeah, and I guess he didn't play the game right either. Remember, he's not even in the Hall of Fame, Ace. Because they said he was too much of a rabble rouser.
Imagine that.
Yeah, he wanted his money.
Too much of a rabble rouser as a wrestler.
He said his mom thought the sport was real until her whole life.
Yeah. Well, now she knows.
Yeah. So we got there was Rocky Soul Man Johnson and Tony Atlas. You remember them?
Rocky Johnson, yeah, that's the big man's father. What was the other name?
Oh, that's the Rock's father?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
Tony Atlas. They used to do the tag teams. Remember tag teams got real big? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how the Rock got his name. He had some other janky name, and the guy from WWE, Vince McMahon.
The racist. Well, we don't know what's in his heart, allegedly.
Yeah. But he gave him the name of the Rock so he can show his lineage to Rocky Johnson.
Is his dad still around?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He didn't want to. The Rock didn't want to. He wanted to be his own man. Yeah.
This is a horrible article. They didn't even mention that this is the Rock's father.
Yes. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So they just want to glorify the son. Yeah. His dad was just a wrestler.
Was his dad Samoan?
Yeah. But he was good.
Yeah, they in shape. They look like they were real athletes, and that was the thing back in the day. They'd be athletes. Not all of them, but it got to the point where they were athletes, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. They weren't going to the gym every day, lifting and eating creatine shakes, and they were working out, but they didn't have the equipment or the technology.
They was pushing the big truck tires, the bands. They still had the gut.
Yeah, they were doing physically what they could to get stronger and stay in shape. Because as we saw, wrestling takes its toll on all of the grapplers back then, one way or the other. So it was, it was amazing the shape that they used to stay in to compete at a high level.
Because you got the MMA and you got boxing.
Yeah.
Could you have a wrestling where it would be exciting enough? Where you take the real wrestlers out of college and then they become pro and they put on those little tight uniforms and get in the middle of the ring and get on their knees. Would that be? I think you can have a pro league with that.
Sure. It's just a matter of getting the marketing dollars and who would actually want to see it or pay to see it. If you had an event like what's that the WWE does every year?
Battle Royal or some shit.
Battle Royal.
Yeah, I'm surprised I knew that.
WrestleMania.
Yeah, WrestleMania. I think the Battle Royal was before that.
So before all of that, they had to do something. But they were traveling city to city, driving their own cars, eating sandwiches out of their cars to make ends meet. Some of them would have other jobs.
Yeah.
But of course, they didn't have the foresight idea that the wrestling arena will grow so immensely. You know, it is what it is. But yeah, these gotta pay homage to these guys and their sons. That if they want to follow in their footsteps. But yeah, unfortunately, my interest in it waned off. Uh, went through the bottom once I went to a wrestling lesson.
All right. Well, next week we're gonna go through with some more notables. We got
Okay.
some big names coming up, and then also we're gonna answer the question: is WWE or is wrestling racist? And then, of course, we're gonna say we're gonna determine who the Black Goat is, the greatest
Well,
black wrestler of all time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be a debate physically and dollar wise, I guess, as far as who is the greatest wrestler.
Yeah, the way it's gonna be Cap because
Yeah,
it's all
absolutely.
depending on who the white man wanted to say is gonna win these matches.
Yeah, yeah. And unfortunately, the majority of these guys are the older guys, broke. Bodies broken up.
Well, they market to kids, but to be marketing to kids and then have those racial undertones that they had over the years.
Yeah.
A guy with a swastika on his uniform and stuff like that. That's weird.
Well, when it's your product, you can do what you want to do. And if nobody stands up or has any words against it, it is what it is.
If the movies want to let their kids watch it and stuff like that, all this is going on. But if you're not watching as a parent, you don't know. But we'll get into it more next week.
Yeah.
What's your final words on this, Ace?
I think, unfortunately, just like in boxing, a lot of these fallen heroes or older heroes of pro wrestling, of course, they didn't have any unions or health care or leagues or setting them up to succeed at the end of their career as far as retiring, even after it's quote unquote fake, but your body goes through a lot, doing those athletically fake things that pro wrestlers have to do. And unfortunately, a lot of these guys end up not having anything once their health fails them, money wise, health insurance wise, just anything to retire on. They might end up in a room, just like they were traveling back and forth across the country to do these matches, and there's no accountability. Who's to say that Vince McMahon or whoever's running the NWA back in the day should have put some money to the side for the illness or the health of these wrestlers? And because they were signing contracts, they were independent contractors, and unfortunately, as they get older, as their health starts to fail them, there's no one to speak up for them as far as wrestlers are concerned. With all this money flowing through the WWE and these TV contracts that they have, and just to do anything for these guys. So maybe there will be someone to step up in the future. I know everybody's just trying to get their own money, but some in the future where you can do something for these particular men and ladies. So as they go through their twilight years, they have some health care, maybe some annuity put to the side or something where they're just not broken and broke after their careers are over. But more to touch on next week.
Yeah, and the reality of it is I hear you, but their business model is like the old NFL, even the current NFL.
Yeah.
The typical gang on the street. they're looking for crash test dummies. They're looking for people who look. If you don't have this, you wouldn't have shit. You know what I mean? And that's who they'll get. Like cats coming out of jail. Cats working on the loading dock. Boxing started like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I hear you though. I hear you. So like what I was saying is to have, so it'd be like asking, the gang to put some money away for, retirement for some of their younger guys who are gonna end up,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
we don't love these people. Right. Right.
We want the money, and they
Right.
they already think they're not going to live past 21. So why would we set aside for them something for them to succeed in life after
And
building?
a few of them are going to make
brand.
it. And you're right. It's swim or sink. A few of them are going to make it, and most of them are end up dead or in jail. But they own their own. And I think that every sport started like that. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always been the owner versus quote unquote help. So if the owner has no feelings for these particular athletes that built their franchise, the general managers don't, and the managers don't. So
I mean, if you look at all industry, Ace, we're talking about the pink industry.
Yeah.
The steel workers, 1 in 10 were dying, working there, and
no interest.
Right. People were getting paid minimum wage and less than minimum, and it was no minimum wage, and they were just working at people to death, and they'd fall asleep right into the molten steel and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then so you go back and you say, well, what should U.S. Steel do?
Right. Like, well, they had the opportunity to do whatever they wanted to do, but they chose to do this to earn their keep. And we had contracts, and once the contract is up for all these independent contractors, it's over. So yeah, it's a long, tough road for someone to subject their body to even the falls in the ring and the leg slaps or whatever they were doing to spark the crowd. But it's terrible to see what a lot of these guys go through.
And it's the same hustle, Ace. You put a few shiny objects out in front of them, the few that break through, that could be you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
You can have your own Cadillac.
Your own dial. They can make a dial after you, and you'll be making millions. You know what I mean? Millions.
Right. Right.
But how do you break through to that?
Yeah, not many.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they're in cahoots. I guess the agents were in cahoots with the owners, or they didn't have any agents. They were just signing what they could get to get paid that week.
And if they did have agents, the agents were in cahoots, right?
Yeah.
And these rich bastards, even when you got a union, the unions are in cahoots. That's what money can do for you.
Absolutely. So it's a bad circle for these particular pro grapplers that were in the top 25 of all time.
Man.
Yeah.
And you happen to be black. All right, so we're going to wrap this one up.
All right.
You guys next week on The Self-Love Show. We're covering hypertension. The silent killer. Hypertension. And then next week on Mouthpiece Included, we're going to do part 2 of this series. We're going to break down is the WWE or pro wrestling, is it inherently racist? And then we're going to talk about who the GOAT is, and also another breakdown of some greats that's going to bring us up. Ace mentioned one of them, The Rock, but that's going to bring us up to 2022. Yeah, to current day. So you cats are, make sure y'all check in. But when you cats are sliding through the city of Chicago, make sure you check in your 6.
Sure.
Look over your shoulder. Check that blind spot.
Yeah. Look,
Keep your dukes up. Guard your grill. Knuckle up. And don't forget,
don't forget it, baby.
and don't forget to,
Don't forget it. TATN.
and don't forget to bring your mouthpiece. Uh-huh.